And good evening to you. Welcome into Tennessee Tuesday on this Tuesday, April the 14th, 2026. I'm your host, John Blankenship, joined by my co-host, Jason Boshers, back again with us this week. And we are glad to have you watching tonight and our many different platforms, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, on the many different channels, such as SCB Chat, as well as the Tennessee Tuesday channels. We're glad you're here, and we're going to say hello to a few of you coming up here in just a few minutes. But as we get started, as always, we start out with our disclaimer. And Jason, I'm going to let you read that to us tonight.
Yes, sir. Greetings, Commander. How are you tonight?
I'm doing quite well.
Yes. I'm blessed. I have two commanders here. Just the views and opinions that are expressed during this show, they're not the views of and opinions of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, any division, the GEC, any brigade, any count. They're strictly the views and opinions of the person that is expressing them.
That's right, Jason. There's our disclaimer this evening. And, you got these three guys here. We've got to have some opinions tonight. And I know one of those, our Commander-in-Chief, Donnie Kennedy, is going to be joining us this evening. He's going to be talking about an event coming up at headquarters in May, which is less than a month away now. It's going to be our pilgrimage event. So here in just a moment, the Commander's going to be talking with us about that. But we do want to say hello to a few folks as we get started, and we'll say hello to some of our viewers throughout the evening. So let's kind of jump in here to a couple of folks and say hello to Johnny Jenkins joining us in Springfield, Missouri. Hope all is well up that way. Also, some more of our regular folks tonight. Ryan Rogers joining us there. Hope he's doing well from Camp 1824. Also, Kim is with us again from Florida tonight. Hope all is well, and the Kirby Smith camp down that way. And hope y'all are enjoying your evening. Up from the road from me in Jamestown, well, not just too far up the road, a little ways, about 4 hours, I guess we'd say. Derek Glover joining us this evening. Hope Derek is doing good. My friend Steve Reed is just down the road near Shiloh, and he's joining us this evening. So hope Steve is doing good. An exciting announcement coming, gentlemen, here in the next couple of weeks is something that Steve is working on down that way, and we'll let him make that announcement as that gets a little closer to time. Some good things coming down there. Randy joining us this evening, of course, from the Camp 176 in Union City. And I want to mention tonight, as we started out, received a message a little while ago for a longtime SCV member that's a member of Camp 176 who has passed away. And we want to make sure we mentioned Mr. Jerry Gray. Got to know Jerry several years ago, him and his wife, and our thoughts and prayers are definitely with the Gray family. He had a cannon. He always had a crew together to be at events, and Jerry was just a great guy and had some health issues over the past several years. So definitely going to miss Jerry, and we look forward to honoring him here in Tennessee and his work he did in the SCV. Also want to say a shout out to Floyd Harvey there in Hot Springs. Hope all is happening well over in Arkansas. Here in my camp here in Humboldt, Jim Collinsworth, who is also our division chaplain, checking in tonight. And then one more tonight, guys. Of course, J.R. Price just down the road in Henderson, and the Private Ike Stone camp, who's commander there. So good to have those folks on with us tonight. And again, we're glad you're listening. We've got a full show tonight. We're going to be busy and a lot of information to get in. Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy will be joining us here in just a moment. And then after our first break, our two commanders, our lieutenant commanders, first and second, from the Tennessee Division, Rich Garcia and Sean Hill will be joining us in part of the program tonight. And we also have a lot of news to share. And towards the end of the program, Jason's going to have some pictures that he's going to be showing of some work happening at national headquarters, and Commander Kennedy may talk a little bit about this too. And again, let's go ahead and jump in. Commander Donnie Kennedy is with us tonight. He is the Commander-in-Chief of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and he's coming from the Louisiana way. And I believe, Commander, you've been across the country the last few days.
Absolutely. Ron, my twin brother and co-pilot, we managed to drive through 7 states in an 18-hour trip coming from Gettysburg back to Louisiana. So we're back home now. But I do want to give a shout out to our compatriots up in Gettysburg and Maryland and New Jersey area, and especially the Cook camp up there. About 2 years ago, they had 21 members. They have doubled their membership since then. So they're up to 40. When I was there, I helped them swear in the 41st member, and they've got another one's application in headquarters should be coming to them soon. So we need to talk to our fellow compatriots up north of the Mason-Dixon line and just find out, hey, boys, what did y'all do to turn this around? So because every camp could do that, boy, I tell you, we would be well on the road to really snuffing out our enemies. So let's get busy with that. So with that said, I do want to shout out and say thank you to those men up there. They are doing a great job, and they are very important. Our members outside of the Old South can have the most influence when you've got a legislator or a governor, say in Tennessee, that wants to do something to a battlefield or a monument or a flag. They get emails and letters from people in Tennessee. They expect that. But when they start getting them from other states in the South, well, that's different. But let them start getting them from New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Michigan and California. That's when it really makes a very big impression. So as I said before, our members outside of the Deep South, they are really important to us. So let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and let's double our membership. Now, John, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit about the upcoming pilgrimage and homecoming that we'll be having. Jason, how often is this, the 6th annual, or is that correct?
Yes, sir. This is the 6th annual one.
Okay, great. The 6th annual homecoming heritage. And we've got a really heavy schedule for this event, folks. We've got at least 3 great items coming up. We've got a monument that we're going to dedicate. We have a memorial bench we're going to dedicate. And we have a keynote address from Teresa Rowan. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the monument that we're dedicating. Because we have, if y'all remember when the Forest Plaza was torn down and shipped to us, part of the plaza, there was a World War I monument. It was a monument there dedicated to I believe it was 4 physicians who lost their life in World War I, and they're Tennessee boys. And that monument was torn down and stacked with everything else and sent to us. By us, I mean the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We are in the process of re-erecting that monument on our headquarters ground. And we're going to have a dedication service around 11 o'clock, May the 2nd, Saturday, May the 2nd. It'll be one of the first items that we'll be doing. We're going to have that. And what we'll do, we have groups, VFW, American Legion, Sons of Union Veteran, because one of the gentlemen was a descendant of a Union veteran, as well as Confederate veterans there to bring greetings and offer their words. Because remember, folks, the Sons of Confederate Veterans is one of America, if not the, but one of the most oldest continuously operating veterans organization. And the veterans that we're honoring here, 3 of the 4 were descendants of Confederate veterans. The legacy that our Confederate veterans extended to us is what really built the United States military. Now, I don't know if y'all know it or not, but there was a gentleman in World War I who, I believe he was a major in World War I, ended up being president of the United States, Harry S. Truman. And guess what? Harry S. Truman's a grandson of a Confederate veteran. So remember that. And Harry S. Truman, by the way, when people tell you that we're a racist organization, just remind them that it was a son of a Confederate veteran who ended Jim Crowism in the U.S. military. So we have a lot to be proud of, and we want the world to know that as a veterans organization, we honor all of American veterans. Now, obviously, our primary emphasis is on our Confederate veteran, but also every veteran that has defended these United States in time of crisis and war, we're also going to honor them. Now, this is going to give us some media outreach. People from the media have been invited because they need to know that the Sons of Confederate Veterans is a patriotic American organization. So this helps us to defend our honor as we defend the honor of our veterans, our Confederate veterans. Now, also, shortly after we'll do the memorial, the rededication of the World War I monument. We'll take a break. We'll have lunch. Bring your picnic baskets. We'll have a picnic on the ground. You bring some chairs and umbrella for the sun, and we'll have the lunch. And then shortly after lunch, we will have a dedication of the H.K. Edgerton bench. Now, y'all know H.K., and we've got a bench for him in his honor, and it will be placed on the on the walkway of Confederate heroes. Now, that walkway is not established yet. It'll be established as soon as we get the plaza put back together. And I'm sure Jason has been keeping y'all up on that. If not, we'll twist his arm and tell us a little bit about that. We're moving quickly. We're making progress to get that plasma put back together. And HK will have a memorial bench right close to that plaza, close to where the big forest flag will be flying. Now, if you are willing to donate a little bit of money, $5, $10, $100, $1 million, if you got loose change in your pocket, you can go to scv.org, look at the donation button, go down to the HK Edgerton site and donate to that site. Anybody or any camp that makes a donation, regardless of size, will be listed as donors in the HK Edgerton Memorial Bench, and that will be in our book of Confederate Heroes that will be published hopefully by the end of this year if all goes well. So make that donation. The monument, the bench will cost us some money, and we want to get that paid for. Matter of fact, I think it is paid for, but we want to recoup any money there. So anything from $5 to $50 million, just drop it in the bucket there, and let's keep going.
Commander, let me jump in and ask you a question.
Yes,
you
sir.
mentioned the book that's coming out by the end of the year. And I had a question recently to this, and I need to reach out to you and ask if someone wants to still be a part of the 21st Century Confederate Heroes, can they still do that and have time to be a part of that book?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, that's one of the things we've been trying. And thank you, John, for bringing that up, because we really, right now, we need about 100 more people to really join up. Now, it can be people, or it can be SCV camps, division, brigades. It can be UDC. It can be ORC. Any group that wants to donate, they can donate. And all you have to do is put X number of dollars down and then pay it off if you want to. It's $1,000.
So you can still do the payment plan out at this
Yes,
time.
sir.
You can still do that? Okay.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, my camp, which I'm supposed to be at the meeting tonight, but I had to back out and to be with the Tennessee boys. But I think they just recently finished their last payment on theirs. So if every SCV camp would do that, we'll have plenty. We'll have that book set. But as soon as we get enough people, we need 500, minimum of 500 to do the first book. You'll have a page in the book. You'll have a paver on the walkway of Confederate Heroes. You will have also a video that's going to be shown at headquarters, continuous on a loop. And you can put either your picture, or you can put your Confederate veterans picture. You can put both on there, and you tell who you are memorializing or recognizing. So it's just up to you. And we will help you make those videos. So that it's a PowerPoint presentation. So we'll help you on getting that. I won't, Ron Kennedy will. And so, that's what he's for. So anyway,
Commander, if someone still wanted to join in and wanted to participate and donate that $1,000 or more, I know there's a neck ribbon that goes with that as well.
Yeah.
And I believe last year at Division Reunion or the National Reunion, you presented some of those.
Yes.
Is that a possibility that could happen again at the National Reunion?
Absolutely. Since you made that announcement, I don't see how I could turn it down. Yes, sir. It would be an honor and a privilege to do that. So by all means, we can do that. So anyway, by everybody, after lunch, we're going to have Teresa Rowan speak to us. If y'all are familiar with Teresa, she has been in the trenches in Richmond, fighting the good fight. She's with the United Daughters of the Confederacy. She's an archivist, and she has a world of knowledge. And she is one of those ladies that when the liberals look at her, they are astounded that this quote, African-American female. Now, I don't like that term. I always say they're Americans with African ancestry, just like I'm an American with Scottish ancestry. I'm not a Scottish American. I'm an American. So, but anyway, that's just my little quirky way of thinking. But anyway, she will be there, and she will give a great presentation. Bring you a box lunch, bring you a chair, bring you an umbrella, and come on and have some fun and watch this dedication of the World War I monument. We've got a dedication of H.K. Edgerton's bench, and you're going to hear Teresa Rowan. And visit, by all means, visit your headquarters. Elm Springs is looking a lot different than it was when I first joined the SCV, and when we first bought it. I joined the SCV in 85, and we purchased Elm Springs as our headquarters, and I guarantee you it looks a lot different now than it does than it did then. So things are moving forward. It's progressing. I encourage you, please, and like I think Jason just said, that we need some Confederate soldiers there to fire a salute in honor of our ancestors, and especially of the men who gave their life for Tennessee. Now, there will be a flagpole there. Jason, will the flagpole be up by then? Do we know?
Yes, the flagpole will be up by then.
All right. And we will be flying the flag of the sovereign state of Tennessee. These men were Tennessee men. They gave their lives in defense of Tennessee, and we're going to fly that flag. And I've asked Adam to send invitation to local elected officials, the media, and any ROTC group in the area. Let them come and let them see that the Sons of Confederate Veterans is a patriotic organization that is defending the good name of not just our Confederate veterans, but all American veterans. So that's all I have, gentlemen, and I appreciate y'all allowing me to be on here.
Absolutely.
And make that presentation. And
well, fantastic job. Lots of stuff going on.
Absolutely. I think Jason might have a few photographs he might can show us about.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time, Jason. Do you want to go through quickly some of those photographs since we're talking about that now? And Jason's been on site up there working on making sure all this happens. Jason's there more than he is anywhere else, and just know it's appreciated his dedication to working there. But Jason, you want to show a few photographs of kind of what that monument's going to look like?
Yes, sir. Now, I don't know if any of y'all seen pictures of the monument, but I thought that I would show y'all this picture. Well, if it ever pulls up. There it goes. Yep. Now, you can see this is where we have dug the base. The base is over 12 inches. There's 2 layers of rebar. You see the real deep hole? That is the 3 foot deep. It's 3 by 3 by 3 hole. That's where the flagpole is going to sit. And just to give you an idea, that's what it looked like before we started pouring concrete. And the pole is going to go off in that corrugated pipe. And then when it goes off in, sand will go in, and that will pack it and keep it tight. And as we finished up, this is, I'll have to upload a picture of the finished pad, but the pad is complete. And we're going to be setting the monument Friday morning at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And then first part of next week, we will be putting the flagpole in.
Well, here's a photograph, Jason, I just dropped up there for you of the pad that's been done.
Yes, sir. Pad's been completed. Yes. We've already got the dirt drug out. We're going to let everything get completed before we finish it all up.
Hey, Jason, explain exactly where that's located for people who might not realize where it's located.
Yes, sir. This is on the road from the parking lot going up to Elm Springs. There's a road when you come into the property off Park Plus Drive. There's a flagpole straight ahead. If you go to the left, there's a road that goes up. In the distance of that, I took that picture because you see the corner of the Confederate Memorial Hall in the distance. That is the pediment the United Daughters of the Confederacy put up there that came down, and that was done a few years back. This is several, as you can tell, a little bit away from it, but that is a 12 by 12 pad. And the monument will be up next to the curb and by the road, facing the road. So people will be able to walk right up to it, stand there in the pavement and see it. And that's the monument. When we get it up, we'll be putting it up Friday. Then it'll go through a cleaning and it'll be ready to go.
Good. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate all that you're doing up there.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for uploading those pictures, John.
Yeah, absolutely. A great job. Jason's been giving us updates on social media. We appreciate all that. Social media, gentlemen, is very important to us. It does good for us if we use it right, and avenues and channels like we're doing tonight. It's a good way to promote the good our organization does. And Commander Kennedy, I like what we mentioned, I think even before we went on, about honoring these World War I veterans as well and how important that is.
Yes.
And again, it shows an example when these Confederate monuments were being taken down. They were going after guys more than just proves more than just Confederates. World War I monuments were moved.
Yes. There's just not words for that. Mm-hmm. There's just not words. But remember, they take them down, we put them up.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
This one's going up, and then there's another one that I have been tasked to put up. And then, of course, we have the Forest Plaza.
Yeah.
So we have a whole lot going on site.
And again, gentlemen, if you want to go to the Tennessee Tuesday Facebook group and page, you can see me and Jason spent about 3 weeks ago, we spent about an hour or so and put together about a 30-minute video of walking around on headquarters site there in Elm Springs to look at where all these things are going to be situated and how all this is coming together. So if you haven't seen that, maybe you haven't been to national headquarters, you can go watch that video and really get an idea of what's all coming together. And Jason, again, thank you. And thank you for your committee that has worked hard to make this happen. So you can visit also TennesseeTuesday.com, see these past episodes and these videos as well. So Commander Donnie Kennedy has been our guest tonight in our first segment. Commander, know the door is always open anytime you need to come on with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the volunteer state. I appreciate when I was in Gettysburg by the monument, Tennessee monument, as well as Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas, all the monuments on Confederate Avenue. Ron and I went there and paid our respects to them. So I really appreciate the volunteer state. Now, I'm going to ask the volunteer state, volunteer boys, be there May the 2nd and help us honor these honor, number one, our World War I veteran, H.K. Edgerton, Miss Teresa Rowan for making the trip here. And by all means, you're honoring and perpetuating the good name of our Confederate veterans. Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you for allowing me on tonight.
You too, Commander. Have yourself a great evening. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, sir.
All right, Commander Donnie Kennedy has been our guest this evening. Jason Boshers is my co-host. I'm John Blankenship with you tonight on Tennessee Tuesday. Here in just a moment, we need to go over our sponsor list and tell you about all those folks that make our show possible and all the programs you hear on SCV Chat. And then after the break, too, we'll be talking to Lieutenant Commanders of the Tennessee Division. First Lieutenant Commander Rich Garcia and Second Lieutenant Commander Sean Hill will be joining us to talk about activities in the Tennessee Division and some things we've got in store and some things we've worked on and have some good conversation tonight. And as we have our division reunion coming up this weekend, so lots of stuff going on to get that ready. It's going to be a busy weekend, a monument dedication up there, Jason. So going to be a busy weekend in Morristown, but let's say thanks to our sponsors tonight. Jason, tell us about our Patreon sponsors and the different levels if you'd like to join and help make these shows possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commander. And I want to thank Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy for coming on. I appreciate him taking the time out of his busy schedule. He has been a very busy man doing the work of this organization, and I appreciate him for it. And thank you for taking the time to do this. Our Patreon sponsors, all of you who watch the show, thank you for watching. All of you who are Patreons, thank you for this show. These shows been allowed to continue, because you're really the one of the reasons why these things get to happen. And you can join Patreon. You can go to scv.chat website and then go to Patreon from there, or you can go to the Patreon website and then go and find SCV Chat on there. You can donate at the $2.50 level. You can donate at the $10 level, $30 level. The $30 level is the merchandise level. And they do have some pretty good merchandise they put out there. The $2.50 level is called the Feed the Moose level. And then you have our $80 a month sponsors. And those are the ones who really sponsor the shows like you're seeing here. Yes, sir. Go with Dr. Chris Cummings.
Yeah, let's talk about Dr. Cummings. There you see him there on the right on your screen, and his sign there, Modern Medicine, Southern Hospitality. Dr. Cummings, a great physician, will take good care of you, and we know that he's a specialist in knee pain and any other issues you may have. You can reach out and go see Dr. Cummings there in Mississippi near Oxford. Appreciate the work he does and appreciate his sponsorship of our shows, Tennessee Tuesday and all of the SCV Chat programs. And Jason, also a big shout out to 31st Regiment Engraving, one of our sponsors as well. You see, Jason, many of the different items there. I know you're familiar with them that they work on. Tell us a little bit about them.
Tell you what, they do some great work. I know Todd, he's a compatriot out of California, and that's all he goes by is Todd. So if you ever see Todd here in the chat, that's who we're talking about. He does this 31st Reg engraving. If you watch any of the shows where Harrison is on, he talks about the bracelet that he had made. And this is it is special Confederate items, Southern items, laser engraved items, and they do a fantastic job and support our fellow compatriots.
Well, let's talk about past commander-in-chief there. You know, Larry McClooney. Of course, he is an author and educator as well. And there's his latest book, Paradox of Freedom, A History of Black Slaveholders in America. I have a copy of that book. It's an excellent work. And I've heard a little rumor that he may be working on a second book to this. Just great research. And Larry McClooney, again, with his background in education. And he loves this organization, and he loves telling the true story of the South and the Confederate soldier. Just a great author. If you have never picked up one of his books, you can do so by going to booksbylarry.com. That's really easy to remember. And there he is at one of our events. Yeah, he's a shorter guy. We can pick at him a little bit. Appreciate Larry and all he does and helps support the programs. And he's been supportive all along of the shows that you have on SCV Chat. And we do appreciate his sponsorship as well. And Jason, our next one tonight that we want to mention, of course, is Beauregard's Tailor, a great family-owned business there. And you see some of the products they can make: T-shirts, reproduction flags, lapel pins, and also you see some of the uniforms there, and great work they do. So we appreciate them. Beauregard'stailor.shop. Go check out their website, and you can learn more about all they have to offer you at good prices, great folks to deal with. And we love folks in the South and supporting these small businesses. Also tonight, they were recently on SCV Chat with a Moose there talking about the museum at Market Hall in Charleston, South Carolina. Jason got to see them when we were down there for the national reunion. An excellent museum that's been open a long time, since 1899, telling the story of the South. If the flag is out, they are open. The regular hours there are Thursday through Sunday from 11 till 4. Jason, I know you've been there as well, and what an excellent museum it is.
Oh, it's an incredible place to go. Anytime that I've down in Charleston, that's one of the places that it's a keystone stop for me. It's one of the places you have to go. These ladies were so wonderful collecting this stuff, and they have stuff that I have never heard of and I never imagined. And I tell you, I thank them for everything they do, and they are a great place to go visit. Yes,
absolutely. And you're right. And our final sponsor tonight is our newest one, which is the Sam Davis Home and Museum. And I know several of the guys that are going to be on with us tonight have been board members, are board members. And if you've never been to the Sam Davis Home, you need to make a trip there. A beautiful site. Of course, there's the museum on site. Of course, the home you can tour there. And it's set to the period of when Sam and his family was alive. Just a beautiful home. Make your chance to go there and visit and explore the property. I was watching a YouTube video of a gentleman that has recently, Jason, been to visit. It was his first time, and he wanted to share a video. And he says he's from up north, and he even says in the video he's a Yankee, but he loves the way that Sam Davis is honored there. He went to the grave, showed a video of that, and you can tell he pauses on the video when the emotion hits and you read the story of Sam. So, Jason, I know you've served on the board and serve on the board at the Sam Davis Home. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, the Sam Davis Home is just an incredible place, and to go there and go inside the house where Sam and his family lived, to go visit his parents' bedroom where Sam walked up on that fateful night, knocked on the window, got his parents, let him in. His mama fed him. His daddy fixed his boot. His mama gave him that overcoat. And then go to the spot, the rock where he tied his horse up.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the grave site and visit Sam. Right after Christmas of 63, he was buried across Stewart's Creek. And then right after the war, Sam's letter that he wrote home to his mama is there in the museum.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Do not forget me." And his mama couldn't forget him. And after the war, she had him interred in the backyard, and that wonderful obelisk is there to
Absolutely.
him.
A beautiful property, and it's an older home. As you know, if you're familiar with old houses, they take a lot of work to maintain, and the Sam Davis Home is always having work done. And I know folks that may not be able to visit, but you can always help out becoming a member of the Sam Davis Memorial Association. Jason, how do they do that? Where do they go to become a member?
They can go to samdavishome.com or just Google Sam Davis Home, Smyrna, Tennessee. And you can go to the website, and there's a place on there for you to join, and you can join at many different levels. And all of that goes to benefiting the home and keeping the home up. Right now, we're in part of a renovation process. Renovation is the wrong word, a restoration.
Yeah.
Because right now we're having the windows redone how they would have been originally. Same glass,
Yeah.
having, the wood just rots over time.
Yeah, I mean, it's an old house. It happens. You got to repair that. But I love that you're keeping the old glass, the wavy glass.
Yes.
And making it look like it was, and seeing photographs. It's a never-ending job. It's always going to need work, but a great job is done by the staff there, the director, and of course the boards helping organize and operate. Again, visit Sam Davis Home online. You can Google search that. You'll find all you need to know. They have a Facebook page as well, and a great job they do. So we appreciate all of our sponsors tonight. scvchat.com. You can go learn more about how you can sponsor these programs. Well, let's go ahead and take a break, and then coming back after the break, they've been waiting in the background. Lieutenant Commander Rich Garcia and Second Lieutenant Commander of the Tennessee Division, Sean Hill, will be our guest joining us next, and we'll be right back after this on Tennessee Tuesday. Stay with us. Samuel R. Watkins, 1839 to 1901. Sam Watkins of Murray County, Tennessee, is remembered as one of the most well-known Confederate soldiers through his service and his words. Enlisting as a private in Company H, 1st Tennessee Infantry, Watkins served throughout the war between the states, fighting in many of its hardest battles, including Shiloh, Chickamauga, and Franklin. Like so many soldiers, he endured the hardships of war, witnessing both the courage and the cost of conflict firsthand. After the war, Watkins returned home and later wrote his memoir, Company H, one of the most widely read personal accounts of a Confederate soldier. His writings provide a vivid and human perspective on the everyday experiences of those who served. Today, Sam Watkins is remembered not only for his military service, but for preserving the story of the common Confederate soldier for future generations. To learn more historical facts about Confederate veterans, visit TennesseeSCV.org. And welcome back into Tennessee Tuesday on this Tuesday. It's April the 14th. I'm John Blankenship, joined by my co-host, one Jason Boshers, who we are getting ready for the Tennessee Division reunion that's coming up in Morristown this weekend. Jason, you are a busy man. I've got a lot to get prepared for, getting the agenda ready. And these two gentlemen here that are joining us, one Lieutenant Commander Rich Garcia and Second Lieutenant Commander Sean Hill, join us this evening as they're very active, of course, across the state in their roles at leading our organization. Gentlemen, good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Good evening, guys.
Well, good to see both of y'all. Rich is traveling tonight. He's been speaking. I see. So he's in the car tonight.
Yeah, we're in the car. We're in Sparta, Tennessee, at the Walmart parking lot.
Well, there you go.
I was afraid we're going to lose. So this is it.
Well, good to have y'all guys with us tonight. We're getting ready for the Tennessee Division reunion that's coming up this weekend in Morristown. It'll be Friday evening, all day Saturday. We have our business session on Saturday morning, and then we'll have a lunch, and then dedicating a monument there, of course, in Russellville at the General Longstreet Museum. That's an exciting time. The division's been a part of that project for several years, and Jordy Barnett and the camp leading that up there. So we'll dedicate that. And then we'll have an evening banquet with a speaker and also our award ceremony for our division members that have received awards. And gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about tonight some of the projects you guys have been on. Sean, you want to jump in here a little bit? And I know you're very active in the division. Tell a little folks about who you are as it's also an election year at the division reunion. So all three of us guys are running for re-election and hope to serve 2 more years. So Sean, I'm going to let you kind of lead off a little bit. Some of the things you've worked on in your role as a second lieutenant commander.
Well, the main thing this year has been the awards. And, that's one of the main things for the second lieutenant commander is the awards for the division. We've added some new awards. We've got a couple of award winners that are 2 winners in categories where we don't normally do that. And we had some deserving winners. So we nominated a couple of so-called ties this year. And we changed the looks of the awards a little bit. That's been my focus for the last month or 2.
And you've been busy, and I know the awards have made it in. They look great. And of course, as being division commander, you get to learn who these individuals are in advance. I'm sworn to secrecy and we can't tell anything, but it's some really good folks that have submitted this year, have done a lot of good work. And that's no discredit to anyone that's working in the division. That's why we encourage, Sean, our camps, when it's this time of year, to nominate your members and your camps and the work that they do. This is a chance. I like when we have to have tough choices to look through because people have done so much, and we've got some great ones this year.
I do too. I enjoy looking through all the nominees and then sharing them with our committee and then making decisions. But we've got an excellent group of people in Tennessee Division.
And something that we mentioned, Sean, I know we've talked about, me, you, and Rich, we're working on next year, hopefully, kind of changing up the awards, not what they are, but what they look like. Mm-hmm. We've got some really neat ideas that just time ran out on us to change them this year, but that we want to change next year. I think it'll make it a little more than just a plaque on the wall. The top awards are really going to be nice.
Yeah, we're working on some stuff that's really fantastic for that. We just ran out of time and had to step back and punt, but we still changed them a little bit, and I hope people notice our changes that we made to it. And I really want to thank my committee members that helped me on this. We keep the committee kind of a secret, but I want to thank all of those guys that helped me make the decisions.
Absolutely. Well, I hear a little feedback somewhere. Somebody's got something. We'll try to know what that was. We had a little feedback, but again, excited about the committee working on picking these. It's always a tough challenge, but the more we submit is what we want to recognize those members and the good work they do. So, Sean, I know you've been busy and ready to present those on Saturday night.
Yeah, my second biggest piece of work this spring has been homecoming. And I want to thank my committee that works on homecoming. I want to thank Jason. He gets all of our vendors in and everything and helps me with that. And we all just work pretty hard out there.
Absolutely. A lot of work goes into it. And, of course, our Nathan Bedford Forest Boyhood Home, a homecoming coming up in June. We've had our really first official committee meeting to get things organized, and it's coming along. Got some good things to do, moving some things around a little bit to make it even better. They always say if you don't change it up a little bit, it gets stale. So, I'm doing some great things. If you've never been to one of these, you'll thoroughly enjoy it. You'll come early and probably stay all day, and that's what most folks do. But if you just want to come for a couple of hours, grab you a bite to eat, listen to some of the speakers, buy you some things, always a fun time. And the funds, of course, we're raising funds towards the Forest Boyhood Home there and its preservation and efforts. If you've been to the property, you know it's a whole bunch of acres to mow. Shout out to Gene Andrews and others that work out there and volunteer their time and effort to make that happen. And that's just mentioning Gene at the top, but there's so many others that work out there.
Oh yeah, there's a group of a dozen people that go out there regularly and work,
Well, gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about, I know we've kind of all been involved in this, Jason, you have too, is the Forest Hall project. Many folks are familiar with and may have donated to. The ultimate goal of this is an extra building on the property that's going to have room for meeting space, a place we can all get together, a small office, museum. That's the ultimate goal there. But the first phase of this project has been the pavilion side of it. So that construction is getting ready to get underway very soon. Not going to promise after talking to Gene and Sean on site that it's going to start and probably be started, but it won't be complete most likely by the time of our event. But then we'll have that pavilion space, which it's kind of 2 and 3 fold, gentlemen, that we rent a tent now to have a large tent out there to put many of our things under. That's going to save us some dollars there because we'll have a place on site to do that, a good covered area. And Sean, especially, look at the opportunities that's going to open up for us.
Oh, yeah.
There that other people that use the property, and in the future, maybe when people rent the site for weddings, it's going to give another location to make that even better.
Right. And when we have division reunions hosted in Marshall County, we'll be able to use the space too. So
yeah, it's going to be nice. It's a plus. Again, the Tennessee Division has led this project and helped fund it, but without the viewers tonight, our folks and our members that have donated, this wouldn't be possible because Jason has seen many of those dollars come in. It's his time as Tennessee Division adjutant. A lot of donations have come in across the South and across the country, for that matter, to help make this project possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
And we need
excited
more.
about Forest Hall.
We need more for phase 2. So
Yeah, phase 2 is still down the
coming.
road. We'll be fundraising again to get this, and of course, the site there is owned by SCV National, and we're just contributing toward this. And this property that we're building is being given to the national organization. We're just coordinating the side of it, getting it constructed. The General Executive Council a few years ago approved this project and what we're doing on the site. So we appreciate their support, and again, their continued support to make this an even better property. Again, it takes dollars to maintain this site. So if an individual tonight would not only like to help towards the Forest Hall project with the Tennessee Division, you can also go to scv.org or call headquarters. And if you'd like to make a donation specifically towards the Forest Boy Home, I know they would be happy to take that donation from you to help fund the many projects.
There is a fund at National that's earmarked for the Forest Boy Home upkeep. Right, Jason? You're muted.
He's muted.
Yeah, I need to unmute. Yes, it is.
Yes.
But it doesn't. It's a very small amount, and it doesn't even cover the fuel for mowing.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't even do that. It doesn't cover the fuel for mowing.
So if someone would like to give to that, any significant donation, and I would ask you tonight to consider that. It's a beautiful property. If you've never been, make plans to be there. Sean, that date, is it June 20th? Help me with the date. June the 20th.
Yes.
Again, that's going to be on a Saturday there. There's hotels in Columbia. There is the state park there, the Henry Horton State Park. If you'd like to come up the night before and stay and enjoy a day out there, it's a beautiful facility, and you'll enjoy your time with good Southern brothers and sisters there. So a good event. And
the hotels and exit 46 are only a few miles away from the home. Technically, so.
Yeah, it's not very far at all. And Sean, you're getting ready. Of course, you're wanting to ask tonight the compatriots in the Tennessee Division that are going to be there for the reunion, the camps to support you. I believe you're going to run for second lieutenant commander again.
Yes, I'm running for re-election. If the members so be it, I'll be glad to serve another term. Working with you three gentlemen especially, we work together all the time, and y'all are all like brothers. We always don't see eye to eye, but we get along wonderfully, and we get things done, and that's what I like.
We bring our ideas to the table, and sometimes we have to modify some of our ideas to make it work, but we get things done, and great to work with all three of you guys. And Rich, let's jump into you now. Of course, I know you're going to be seeking the first lieutenant commander position, re-election again this year. You are one of the busiest men I know. Y'all are speaking tonight, and man, you are all over the place. Rich, what you been up to?
Well, this is my second program of the week. We started off in Chapel Hill for a program. We're at Sparta. Then I'm going to do a program this month, 4 more other programs this month. I feel that camp programming is very important. I've been trying to, if you notice on Facebook, I've been asking everybody in every division to join our speaker bureau registry.
Mm-hmm.
I feel camp programming is important. A lot of camps, smaller camps, have trouble finding speakers. Speakers in educational programming is pretty much a must to keep members coming back for retention. So all linked together. Activities. He's a man. Especially a program is really simple, but to get a speaker is important. So I'm trying to get these guys signed up to do Zoom programs, like YardStream and some other streaming services, so we can get camps. We have one camp, the Joe Johnson camp, exclusively streaming meetings.
Oh, wow.
They have no place to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't have a place to meet, other camps might have difficulties, but to stream like we're doing tonight is a benefit. So I've been kind of trying to get that spearheaded, because to me, program is important, especially a little camp like ours. That's hard to get people to come down. And we did some streaming Zoom meetings, and it worked good. But my ultimate goal and my vision is Tennessee Division becomes a premier speaker bureau registry and confederation. I have an idea that if we get this thing set up, we can use our streaming services and maybe cohesive evolve it into and pass it on as the National Speaker Bureau Registry. I think if we could pull this off, we could also offer our services, our registry services, to homeschool cooperatives across the nation. They are in need of Civil War curriculum, either in person or through Zoom or through Yardstream. If you could pull this off, that will coincide with retention. If you get all these kids and teachers and these cooperatives that are independent to do this, then it might bring in more recruits, see our mission, amplify our national brand and identity. But we got to start somewhere. So I have some really good authors. Mr. Hardy, he's on our registry. I have Jeb Smith is on our registry. He was a speaker last night on the chat. I have him on the registry. So I'm asking for anybody who's interested to build this. I think we could pull it off and pass it on to the Army. And Army could pass it on nationwide. And Tennessee could be the premier registry bureau. I want everybody to jump in. It's really easy. Just email me or Steve Murphy to put you on your list. If you're a prospective author, this is the perfect way to get your book out. Yeah, through us. You know,
great job you've done, Rick. You really done great with this.
Yeah, the thing is, we have to be Zoom ready. So this is where we're going to need you, John, and Sean, with your tech skills. We need to have a workshop to teach them in how to create a Zoom program. I'm not sure if the division has an account. I think we do have an account. If you could get a separate account, or if you could work some out, where men could use our account to do Zoom services versus the smaller camps that can't afford, services, and use that to do these Zoom meetings. It's going to start slowly, but I think we can pull this off.
Yeah, it's very important for, like you said, smaller camps. And I believe Derek Glover just recently, he comes to mind. He just did a Zoom presentation to one of the camps. So it's a way to get people and sometimes some of us just can't travel 6 or 7 hours in the week, but they want that person to come speak. They can do it remotely like that.
I did a program at the Joe Johnson camp that way. They were there pretty good. So if you guys out there want to hear me speak, to fill your void, I could do a Zoom program for you if I can get out to your camp to get this thing started. I know Derek. I talked to Derek. He's on board with this idea because he does it now. And again, it was at Joe Johnson camp. But I think the division this would be a good asset for the division. Absolutely. That's one of my projects. And I still feel we still need to continue to recruit membership and retain members, and we have a really good recruitment team. And I encourage camps to even call us or call me or Sean, John. They need help with recruitment. I don't mind setting up. I'm going to set up a booth at the Battle of Paris on May 9th, and we had some successes there. And I'll be at the Dixon County Living History event hosted by the Captain W.H. Macaulay Camp, 260 on May 8th and 9th. Well, I'll be there first, 8th and 9th, and then we're traveling to Paris right afterwards to do their program. And we're also having an Army of Tennessee recruitment and retention and community involvement workshop, which is kind of up our alley because our division committee wrote up a really great recruitment guide, retention guide. Yeah. So I might talk about a little bit about that and how to develop a committee. And our camp is hosting a recruitment event at the Heritage Day Festival in Granville, Tennessee, in May. So I'm going to be kind of busy out there. To me, this is very personal, like you guys. I'm very grateful I have a Confederate ancestor. This is my way of giving back. This is my way. I mean, I got to give something back. This is not for free. We got to give back. We got to sacrifice, and we got to be out there. The days are gone where there was Confederate soldiers, veterans out there. Days are gone where grandsons are gone. Everybody's kind of through attrition. We're losing our membership and our history, and pretty much our stamina. There's a lot of involvement with families, young families. The guys, the fathers, husbands don't have time to commit. So us older guys that have the time and effort, we need to pick up the slack to fill in that void until these men are able to get out there and do their own thing. Everybody's charge is important, and all of us have to give back some way. This is not free.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we pay our dues. Okay, we pay our dues, but this is not free. Our heritage is not free. We got to just be out there, face first, talk to people one-on-one. I mean, Dave Daniels is a good support with his knowledge and a genealogy. He's always out there recruiting alongside with me. We try to help other camps when needed, and Sean helps other camps. I have an idea, Sean. This remember we talked about the Chapel Hill tractor pool. We need to work with that camp since you have a really good connection with Chapel Hill camp at home. We need to help them at that tractor pool to recruit. I know they set up a table and they do pretty good at the table for us at the Memorial right in front of the meeting place. But we need to probably try to talk to them so we could stand something up with them. I think it's free, so no cost, just right on Main Street.
Yep.
So that's coming up.
Probably thousands.
Take advantage of other locations. Be visible, guys.
That's it. Being out there, meet people where they are comes to mind, Rich. Go where people are so you can be seen. And do you get a new member from every place? Maybe not, but the most important, you've been seen. That's the way we do our county fair here in Gibson County. Been going there
but you know
myself about 15 years, a part of it in some form or fashion. And always positive response, and people are glad we're there.
You know, John, but we are getting members by being seen.
We are.
We are getting members. Yeah, I just sent Jason some division dues for a new member we picked up in the mail today. So, we are being seen and we're being heard too. But if we can get into the cooperative homeschools, that'd be a great big grab for us. I think if we could do it.
Absolutely. A lot of great work you and Sean have been doing. Appreciate being able to work with you guys. And hopefully we'll get a couple of more years together and to get to continue to serve together. And it's been an honor to serve and as division commander. You know, something, guys, we like history. We all love that. And our organization, as we said before, is a historical organization in itself. There's a lot of history outside of just the Confederate soldier we honor, but just us as an organization, a lot of neat history, a lot of interesting individuals that have been a part of our organization. And to be able to sit in this role and to lead the organization for a few years, an honor. It's all about honoring our ancestor. And that's what we have to remember. Why are we in these roles? To make sure our ancestor story is told and use what skills we have to do so. Do we each do it the same way? No. We have different ways we're going to do different things and handle different things. But as long as we keep the Confederate soldier and keep Christ, I believe, as well, in the forefront of everything we do, I believe the Lord will honor our work, and our ancestors would be proud that we've remembered them.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, anything else, you guys? I know we're getting close to 8 o'clock that you've got coming up. Of course, the division reunions this weekend. If you haven't made your plans to be there, you could still come. But remember, it will be $75 to attend, and food is pretty much sold out. There may be a plate or two available or a box lunch available when you show up, but that's not guaranteed. But it's still available when you get there. You'd still have to pay the $75. That will be at Morristown, of course, and then we're going to, guys, dedicate the monument on Saturday there at the Longstreet Museum. I know y'all seen photographs of it and seen some of it, and what a great work they're doing up there, and it's going to be an exciting time to dedicate. And I heard Rich has got a motorcycle just past him in the background there.
Yeah. Couple of motorcycles.
So Jason's put up the address there in Russellville where the Longstreet Museum. That's at 2:00 on Saturday, the dedication. So even if you know somebody that might attend that and you're not even coming to the reunion and you would still like to stop by and see the museum and see the monument dedication, that's going to start at 2:00 that afternoon. So, guys, it's going to be a good time. Looking forward to Saturday night as we'll get to give away some awards and present those. And as Sean mentioned, some new ones there that we have this year. I've got some new division commander awards I get to present, some neat pins that we've got made. So it's a neat time to honor our members and all the work they do. And then we'll be honoring some of our ladies that work with us as well. We always have ladies awards that we give away, and also members outside of the SCV that were nominated. So we've got several to recognize this year. It's going to be a good time there. And then again, that morning, guys, the business session, it's an election year, so we'll take care of the election business pretty early on. So I think it's going to go pretty smooth for everyone. Then we have brigade commander elections as well. and several folks that are stepping up again to lead. There's going to be some changes there, some new folks coming in. And let me first say, appreciate all those that have served and some that may be coming off the Division Executive Council due to maybe not running for re-election. We have some new folks coming in, some changes there, some exciting stuff, and some great folks that I believe we all care about our organization and the Confederate ancestor, and look forward to working with all the folks, hopefully for a couple of more years. I'd appreciate your support at this year's reunion. A lot of good things going on. A lot of guests will be there with us, and we look forward to hearing. I think we'll have some national officers possibly with us, some that are also seeking office. So those guys will have an opportunity to talk as well. It'll be a fast-paced reunion. We'll get started around 8:30, and then we've got to be done by noon to have the lunch and then have the monument dedication. So just know if you're attending, we're going to keep it moving pretty fast this year. Get our business done and get the budget passed, and it's going to be fun stuff. Be a good time. Good reunion. Reunions are about meeting and greeting, enjoying it, and doing the business of the SCV. We're going to get it done on Saturday. So, gentlemen, glad to have y'all tonight. I guess we'll go ahead and do this. Anything else y'all want to say before we take this final break, and then me and Jason will come back and wrap up the evening? Anything else y'all got you want to include?
Prayers for everybody's safe travel.
No, I just want to say thank you for everybody for supporting John, Sean, and myself. We're trying to do our best. We try to keep the momentum going. We're trying to work our hardest to succeed for the division. All your support is appreciated, and your help is easily accepted to help us in our mission. But thank you guys, everyone.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, gentlemen, and all the work. Appreciate Jason. Jason's appointed now. He gets to be appointed. And the guy that wants to be the adjutant, usually he almost gets that position for life. He's a hard-working man. We appreciate Jason and all he does to keep the division in order. It's a full-time job, and he does a good job at it. And I appreciate him being willing to step up and serve there in this role. So I appreciate that as well. So, gentlemen, let's go ahead and we'll take our next break. We'll come back. Me and Jason will wrap up this evening here on Tennessee Tuesday. So I hope y'all stay with us. We'll come back right after this. Major James Daniel Richardson, 1843 to 1914. Major Richardson of Rutherford County, Tennessee, was a Confederate veteran, statesman, and historian whose life reflected both service and leadership. During the war between the states, Richardson left his studies to join the Confederate Army, serving nearly 4 years with the 45th Tennessee Infantry, rising from private to adjutant and officer. He was wounded during the Atlanta campaign, carrying the effects of that service for the rest of his life. After the war, he returned home to build a distinguished career in law and public service. Richardson served in both houses of the Tennessee General Assembly before representing Tennessee in the U.S. Congress for 2 decades, eventually becoming House Minority Leader. He also became a noted historian, compiling the messages and papers of the Confederacy and preserving important records of Southern history for future generations. Remembered as a devoted Tennessean, Richardson's life stands as a lasting example of service to his state, his people, and his heritage. To learn more historical facts about Confederate veterans, visit TennesseeSCV.org.
There is a place, nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home, constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
And if you've never been to the National Confederate Museum at Elm Springs there in Columbia, I recommend you look at these hours and plan you a weekend trip, or even during the week, Monday through Friday from 9 till 4. And of course, the museum is open now on Saturdays from 9 to 4 as well. Come and tour your National Confederate Museum. And Jason Boshers is with us as our co-host tonight, as always. And Jason, we've got a few events that we need to go over tonight before we wrap up the show that are coming up. And let's kind of go through a few of those. You heard us mention this one earlier with Commander Kennedy in the beginning of the program, our pilgrimage and Confederate Memorial Service. You heard about the activities there that day. That's going to be on Saturday, May the 2nd. Again, I've already got a room reserved, Jason. I'm going to come up to Columbia the night before and stay because I'm looking forward to being for this event on Saturday. I've been to, I think, 4 of these I've got to attend. Always a good time. And again, something special, Jason, I want you to mention here again for folks that may have joined in late. There's going to be a new monument dedication for World War I soldiers in Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
If you want to go through and tell a little bit about that again, too.
Yes, this is an updated flyer for that event. As you can see, our Commander-in-Chief is going to be our master of ceremonies. Ground's going to open at 9 o'clock. Donnie Kennedy is going to start us off at 11 with the dedication of the World War I monument, which we are in the process of erecting now. You can see that the work that's already been done, and I'm going to show this, what John popped up. That's the pad as it was completed this morning. We're going to be setting the monument on Friday, and we will have that dedication on starting at 11 o'clock. And we have got a great turnout on that because this is a World War I monument.
Yeah.
And it's to 4 men. And I'm going to pop up this other picture that John had. And once we get it up, and I'll take some better pictures of it, and I'll get it cleaned as we have it right now. It is in the warehouse.
And this monument, Jason, was in Memphis. This was part of the things we received when the Forest Equestrian statue and the graves came. That was part of that, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. And we just talked about putting it up and decided it's the best thing to do because that's what we do. You know, we preserve all of our history. And in researching the 4 men that are listed on the monument, we found out 3 of them are descendants of Confederate soldiers. One of them is a descendant of a Federal soldier.
Interesting.
But all of them sacrificed during World War I. And
these were all killed during the war, correct?
Yes, sir. If I've understood this correctly, all these men were killed in the war. Yes. And we've got a big dedication that's going to happen. We contacted members of the SUV-CW, which is the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. I mean, this is one of their men. So we invited them. They're going to bring an honor guard.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, they're actually going to bring an honor guard. And then we invited MOLUS, which is the Military Order of Loyal Legion of the United States. And that is, they're going to be bringing a greeting as well. And then I would really want to encourage any Confederate reenactor to bring your musket and to fire a volley that day. You're going to have 2 opportunities. Well, excuse me, I'm sorry. You're going to have 3 opportunities.
Okay.
One of the opportunities is this one at 11 o'clock, where we're going to fire a volley for the dedication of the World War I. We're going to have members of the Sons of the American Revolution there. And one of those men is, he's a current SAR member. He reenacts World War I. He's going to be there as a doughboy, and he's going to fire a volley as well.
Do you need other World War I reenactors? I know there's several in Tennessee. Are you looking for folks there as well?
Oh, yes, sir. As far as I know right now, we have 3 coming, but
Okay.
if we had 33, that would
That
be
would be
wonderful.
great. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we're looking for World War One. Of course, we're going to have Federal there, and then we will love to have some Confederates there to fire. You're going to have an opportunity to fire at the World War One monument. Then you heard Commander Kenny talk. We're going to take a lunch break at that time, and like he said, bring you a picnic basket. If you look at the bottom of the flyer, you'll see at the bottom of that, that we'll be laying floral tributes. And you'll be able to at the World War I monument, at H.K. Edgerton's bench to do that. Then again at the Robert E. Lee statue, which is where we will have our pilgrimage there. And as I said there at the bottom, the weather in southern Middle Tennessee can be unpredictable.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
It can be sunny and hot. It can be rainy and cold. It could be both. You could need a jacket. You could need sunscreen. So, prepare accordingly, but bring you a picnic basket and bring you something to drink and cool off. No alcohol is allowed. I feel obligated to say that.
Yeah.
And come and enjoy the day. And during that lunch period, after it, we will have the dedication of the H.K. Edgerton Monument. Now, that is going to be going from he calls it the Walkway of Heroes, and that is going to be going from the Robert E. Lee statue leading out to the Equestrian Plaza. And speaking of the Equestrian Plaza, I'll give a little bit of an update on that.
Yeah.
We have all of the construction drawings done. We have the architectural drawings done. We brought a surveyor back on the ground to survey the third and final time to make sure that we had the grades right that we need for the French drains to get the water the way we need it. And then he said that he needs to go back and he needs to do the civil drawing because we had a good conversation about how the sidewalk is going to run up from Robert E. Lee statue. It's going to go by the Looney Family Cemetery. The Looney Family Cemetery is the one that is in the rock wall.
Yeah.
Now, that rock wall was not put up until 1980, but we're going to have the walkway in front of it. And Simeon Cummins is buried right beside of them. That was the second lieutenant that was on the CSS Alabama that was killed in South Africa during a hunting accident, and he was reinterred there in 1994. And then, but we have to redo the sidewalk, so you need to redo the civil drawings. So as soon as we get the civil drawings, and what that means is the sidewalks, how it's going to go up. And we had the conversation about the 21st century Confederate heroes. They wanted 500 of them to be able to do the book. Okay.
Sure.
Well, right now we are about 380. Okay. So we're going to need, 120 to be able to fill the book out. But there's an even more important thing. During this whole civil engineering part of this, we're going to put the 21st century. If you join 21st Century Confederate Heroes, you're going to have your paver out at the Forest Equestrian Plaza. We have a spot set aside for 560 pavers.
Okay.
But we only have, 380 to 390. So yes, you can join the 21st Century Confederate Heroes. And if you join, you will be right up there at this point until we fill in those 560. You'll be able to go right up at the plaza site. But that was all part of the civil drawings that needed to be reevaluated.
Jason, let me jump in there and ask you this question, because I've seen this comment before in question. Since you've got 380 roughly sold, will you start laying those bricks and just add to it as they're done, or are you waiting till they're all sold? What is there?
Oh, no, sir. We will. Well, once we build the plaza. Yeah. Okay. Let's just say that we only have 500. So we have 60 open spaces. We will have 60 pavers there to fill in. So these people that have purchased the paver will go ahead and have theirs. And if there's more that come, you can add into them. Yes. But if you're number 561, you're going to be on the walkway. Yeah, you're in another location. Yes. You're not going to be up, but we're not going to delay until we get it. We're going to go ahead.
Go ahead and put as many as you got down and then add to.
Yes, sir. And we're going to do all 560. If we only have 400, we're going to have to buy another 160 pavers to put in, because this is all going to be part of the walkway, all part of the civil drawings. So that's how it's been planned out, because we want to make sure that anybody and everybody that has contributed to this is going to be up there. And
Jason, so as you're coming from Robert, and we walked through this and talked about some of this on the video, you can go back and watch. As you come up the walkway from the Robert E. Lee statue and you come towards the back side of the equestrian statue, how are these bricks? Are they situated as you're walking up? Are they around the plaza? Kind of how are they positioned?
Well, right now, when we just, until we get to 560, they'll be up there, but we're going to do a walkway, and we're going to have, I think he widened the drawing to where we're going to be able to have, I think it's going to be like a little over 6 feet. And then we're going to have curbing on each side. And then we're going to have benches, and the benches will be external to the sidewalk. And that, for a while there, it's just going to be a sidewalk till we get the bricks and pavers and fill all of that in.
So just a regular concrete sidewalk, and then as you put the pavers, they go on top of that surface.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because we're not going to have enough to be able to fill that in. That's going to be several thousand.
Yeah, that's a long distance in between there.
Yes,
so I'm sure there's other plans in the future to sell more bricks, and you can continue to purchase bricks to fill in along these walkways.
Yes, you're going to be able to, because we still have the one that's in the Jeff Davis Memorial Garden. Okay, and we've already got that poured. It's poured. It's already got the curbing, but we don't have enough bricks to fill it in. We can only do about half right now.
So Jason, tell folks that are listening that may be interested in that maybe they're not a part of the 21st Century Confederate Heroes, but they still the brick somewhere on the site. How does that work to get that brick and maybe the Jefferson Davis area?
Oh, that's easy. You can join that brick and paver. The brick's $50, paver's $100. And you'll be in the Jeff Davis Memorial Garden. You can get that off the SCV website, off the donate. In fact, we'll start advertising it more on here. But you can download that brick and paver form, and that's all you have to do. Download it, fill it in. You can pay online if you want to. You can send in a check, however you want to do it. You can even do it over the phone if that's how you wish to do it.
And Jason, these pavers, have you laid some yet? Or are you getting to a certain quota that you want to have made and then you lay those?
We already have the ones that have already been purchased. We have them on site. The reason why they have not been put down is we have to rebuild the Jeff Davis statue. When the Jeff Davis statue was put up, it had the empty hole where it was going to put a statue. Well, they filled that in with concrete, but when they set it down, it was too big, and the sidewalk goes out, and it's a regular sidewalk at only 4 inches, and it did not support the structure. 5 years, it is already starting to separate and to lean just a little bit. So we've already got plans built up for that. Architects have already designed it up. We're getting bids on that now. We already have some bids on the concrete, some bids on taking the statue down. But the reason why we can't put them down is they're going to be bringing in cranes.
Damage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So once we get the Jeff Davis statue back up, that's when we'll start putting those bricks in.
Well, Jason, that brings up a good point, and it shows the work you and others have put in to make sure when the Forest Equestrian Statue Plaza goes together, that this foundation is perfect, because that's a lot of weight. That it's right, that we don't have these issues down the road. And that's why so much planning, so many architects and planners have been involved in this to make sure it's right.
Yes, sir. We've had architects, we've had structural engineers. We've had the ones that do like the underground stuff, like where they do tunneling, and know how to send the water around, because this is a huge structure that we're building. It's 50 feet wide, 75 feet deep. To the top of Forest Head, he's going to be just shy of 22 feet in the air. And there's a tremendous amount of weight that we're going to have to support. The video that we did. And, one of those is 12,500 pounds. So this has to be engineered, and it is. We've done everything that we could as far as getting engineers and architects in, and we're just so we got those same guys to do the Jeff Davis, because when we saw that was, because I was getting ready to start putting the bricks down, and Adam and I were out there, and we go, no, wait a minute, something's not right here, because there was a seam that had opened up.
Yeah.
And then we got to looking around, and the sidewalk was starting to be an issue. So the Jeff Davis statue has to come down. That was put up in a hurry in 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to take it down, and we're going to jackhammer everything out. We're going to pour the right footer, then support that we need, and then put the statue back up. Then we'll be putting the regular brick and paver program that is separate from 21st Century Confederate Heroes. A lot of people were thinking, oh, is this like, no, it's not 21st Century. Bricks and pavers is completely different. $50 for a brick, $100 for a paver, and it's going to go into the Jefferson Davis Memorial Garden.
The locations are different. The forest one is more prominent, which will, with lack of better, it'll draw more attention. More folks are going to see there, and you're going towards a bigger project.
Yes, sir. And that's the reason why it's $1,000, because it is, you're going to be part of this to join 21st Century Confederate Heroes. It's $1,000, but you will be right up. Your paver will be right up at the site. How many letters for the paver? I have a long last name.
I feel like it's on the form, isn't it?
Yes, it's all on the form. The brick has 4 lines. The paver has 8 lines, and it is all on the form. And you just space it out, and spaces matter. They count. Yeah. If you do private and you do PVT, that's 3. If you do PVT dot, that's 4.
Yeah. So you can be creative. You need a space in there that counts as one of those. Yes. Is one of those things. I've done a paver project here, and you can be creative and you can make things fit. It may look weird at times, but you can make them fit.
You can make it fit.
I know that long lasting. I know Commander Stubblefield, when he's talking about that long last name, mine's that way. It doesn't fit on things very well.
Yes, sir. But you will have enough. I want to say it's 22 characters. Each line's 22 characters.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Stubblefield, I believe it will fit on there. But you can fill out the paper, but when you fill it out, please remember that spaces matter. They count. Punctuation matters. So if you put a dash, that's a character. So part of it. But those bricks and pavers that you can get for the Jeff Davis Memorial Garden, $50 and $100 respectively. Now you can just get a paver for the 21st Century Confederate Heroes. It's an 8x8 paver. So that's all you can get. There's no brick for that. It's an automatic paver. But you will be at the Forest Equestrian Plaza. And I know that we have to put a sidewalk in. Okay. Yeah. And we know that when we put that sidewalk in, we're not going to have enough pavers to fill it up. Yeah. So we're having to plan accordingly.
Yeah. And there's going to be many opportunities to have more and more projects to be a part of these other sidewalks as they all come together.
Oh, yes, sir. And remember, there's still going to be a sidewalk leaving the plaza going over to the sidewalk that leads to Elm Springs. So you're going to have another
opportunities.
Yes, sir. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. And we know that it's going to take a while to fill all of this up, and it's going to be done in pieces. I wanted to go ahead and have the Jeff Davis Memorial Garden done before the pilgrimage and homecoming. But with the Jeff Davis statue, we're going to have to rebuild where there was just no way to do it because it's right there. So that's going to be an issue. But once that's done, those bricks and pavers will go down.
Absolutely.
Yes. And what we're doing with the benches, we have the bench program. The benches have gone up a great deal in price. But we have, I just ordered bench number 16.
Okay.
And we're putting the benches.
They're happening kind of as they go along, right? They're not really waiting. They've got to be made, obviously. But as people purchase those, you're ordering those and placing those.
Yes. So as you know, if you were to put your order in for a bench tonight, I would get notified and I would order that bench, and then they would work up what you wanted on there, because that would be part of what you have on there, because you can engrave it, put on there what you want, and they will set and they'll work up an example of it, and then I'll send it back to you for approval.
What's the cost of a bench now, Jay? I know I'm putting you on the spot on some of this. What's the cost of a bench?
$2,850.
All right. So you want a bench, and if you've been to the site, I wish I had a picture. I'd show some of them off. What they're granite, I believe, correct?
Yes. And they're very nice, and they are used a great deal. I've seen, I saw people sitting on them today. We had Commander Kennedy on earlier. Him and his brother bought one, and it was Kennedy twins, and it was the South was right. Yeah. And there was somebody that stopped, saw that, took a picture of it, and sat down. And then when they sat down, the brother took a picture of them.
So what I love about that is they got to sit down on the Kennedys.
Yes, they had to sit down on the Kennedys. Yes. But the benches are being used. People,
they're very nice.
They do walk around the facility, and people will walk and take pictures of benches that's out there.
Well, Jason, as we're continuing, we're getting close to the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. We want to get close to wrapping up. I do want to ask you one more thing, because you've been on site a lot lately. A lot is happening at headquarters, and let's talk about the historic home, Elm Springs. A couple of things. Let's start outside first. We've mentioned the World War I monument. The flagpole in front of the home that's been there for many years is moving locations, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. In fact, the pole has already been taken down. And it has been up, I want to say, since 95. And top of it, the pulley system and all of that has to be redone. So we've already got that ready, put the pulley system on it. That is going to be relocated. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead. So you're relocating it, and it's also to help. Let's make sure, folks, we're not taking things down. The reason it's moving to a new location, but you're trying to preserve the house and bring it back to its time period when it was newer. So, and that flagpole doesn't kind of match that era.
Yes, sir. An aluminum flagpole does not match an 1840s home.
Yeah, not very good.
Elm Springs started construction in 1835 and finished in 1837. And there's a effort now, as you know, when the Sons Confederate Veterans bought the property in 1992, that was our offices. The offices were inside: executive director, office manager, Army people. And when the museum opened in October of 2020, when Larry McClooney was commander-in-chief, we moved all the offices over to the museum. And since that time, there's an effort to put the home back to the 1840s time frame. And you have the dining room, which was the first room that we did, found the wallpaper example that, and they came in and said, okay, this is the original wallpaper. It is still being made in Liverpool, England. So we were able to order that, get that in. The colors that you see in there, they were found when you do the forensic stuff and find out the oldest colors back, because something that is that old has been painted numerous times. And we found an original color for that. And then when you walk into and I did a video on this when we did the wallpaper, when you walk into the front of the house, that great big foyer, it's 1,350 square feet. It's 45 by 30. And that is a huge room. It's bigger than most people's houses. And it really is. And it took 26 double rows of wallpaper. Now, the wallpaper we have on there is not an exact match to an original design, but it is about
Jason. Is this the new wallpaper there?
Yes, sir. That's the new wallpaper. And it's downstairs and it goes up the staircase to there. Yes, that is the original wallpaper. And it is, like I said, 26 double rows of wallpaper. And there was a gentleman who donated the money to buy the wallpaper. He wanted to know how much was it going to cost, figured it out, told him. He said, I'll pay for it. And there was a gentleman that funded that. And the color that you see in there on that, and when you walk into the foyer, that was an original color in there as well. So there's, we're moving on with the house. Yes, it is slowly coming along. We do it as we have the funds. And that's just exactly the way we see it. When we have the funds, we will tackle one of these projects.
Well, here's another images of that room we're talking about there, the main entrance there. You can see the new wallpaper up.
Yes, sir. That's the wallpaper. That gold color, was one of the original color. That was the original color that we found there. That is, as you come in the house, you see the yellow poplar floors. They are original. You can see the staircase that you see right in front of you. That's the ladies' staircase. The banister, as you know, it will be shorter. The steps are deeper, but the risers are not as high. If you'll look over to the right, you'll notice the bottom set of stairs.
I do.
That would be the men's staircase or the kids' staircase. It's steeper, it's narrower. The risers are quite a bit taller. And, it's just, that's the one that the men and the children would use, while the ladies would use that staircase there.
Here's another view looking to the left as you come in.
Yes, sir. And the statue that you see straight ahead, that is the bust of Nathaniel Dick. You had two brothers, James and Nathaniel Dick. They bought 500 acres and they had this home built, and they gave it to their sister for their sister to run as a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And when they opened the house and had one of their parties, he had a bust made of himself and he presented it to her. And as we put this back to the original home, that artifact came back to us from their descendants. And we are having original artifacts. The sofa you see on the right, that came from the house. That's from one of the original families that lived there. You had 3 generations, the Dicks, the Todds, and the Loonies. They lived in that house. And then it got sold out of the family.
So all those 3 families, Jason, help me, you know the history of this better than I do. They're all connected and related, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Dicks, James and Nathaniel Dick, they had a sister. She married a Todd. They had a daughter that married into the Loonies. And after the Loonies was when it was sold out of the family. And that was in the early 1900s.
Definitely a beautiful home there, and restoration work will continue to the parlors. Is that the next plan to go towards?
Yes, sir. If we just, as funds come in, we'll move on to the parlor. If somebody has a particular interest, that they want to do, then, if they want to donate to that, they can donate to that as well. Let's say they want to do something in the original kitchen, and they feel free to donate to that. And the money will be put and used strictly for that.
It's a beautiful property, Jason. Glad to see. And I know Adam Southern, our executive director, has really worked hard to make sure this home gets restored. And again, you can reach out to Adam if you'd like to become a donor there, and maybe make one of those, like you said, those larger donations to help restore a room.
Yes, and we have a program called Friends of Elm Springs. If you just like old homes, you can join Friends of Elm Springs, and that's all that money goes to. It's just toward the home, for maintenance, for restoration, preservation. That's what it all goes for.
Good work happening there, Jason. Appreciate all your work. You're dedicated to be there, and you've made time and effort to do that, and know it's appreciated, and your leadership there helping with that. You didn't just serve as commander-in-chief and retire and didn't do anything else. You're just as busy, and appreciate all your work you do.
Well, I don't know if you've seen some of the pictures I put on Facebook, but I've been up there about 6:30 in the morning the last 2 mornings, because this morning we were pouring concrete by 7 o'clock. So, and to get there and to see the sunrise, and I took pictures, and you can see the sun coming through Elm Springs. So, coming by Elm Springs, I just couldn't resist it. It's to be there. It is gorgeous property, and to be able to go there and just help, and see all the improvements. Yes, we took down the flagpole in front, cut the boxwoods down, and open that up in the front. And there's probably a picture out there. I think I know.
I've seen one where they're being taken down.
Yes, sir. And they're down. And of course, we're going to do something because they poured the flagpole in concrete, which means it was not coming out. So we had to cut it off. So so the flagpole is going to be a little shorter, but then we're going to redo that circle area that's in there. And we're talking today about taking out some more of the boxwoods and really opening up the front of the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks good. Great work. I saw it about 3 weeks ago, and excellent work all you guys are doing. Appreciate everything to preserve the house. It's just it's a plus when you come to see the museum, tour the home as well. A lot of great history just on that. Is it daffodils or is it tulips? Which one? Daffodils, right? What they grow there?
It was at one point in time a daffodil farm.
So what do they make with daffodils? What is that used in?
You'll have to tell me, Hero. I have no idea. And I've asked farmers, because I've done tours up there so many times, and so I'll ask people, okay, what would you use daffodils for? And nobody's been, but it was a daffodil farm. And we have had an extremely dry spring.
Yeah.
Normally at this time of year, you could look out in the field and you could start to see the daffodils.
So they still show up. How long? What era was that done? Was that done from the beginning to when were they grown? Do you know?
No, sir. I couldn't answer that specifically. I would probably tell you wrong. So, but I have seen. I just can't remember if it's in the 1880s and 90s or if it's in the early part of 1900.
So it's later. It's not in its earliest history then.
Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, sir. It wasn't right off the bat. No, sir.
Well, so one of these days, Jason, when you grow up, I'm hoping you're going to get you a 500-acre farm with an antebellum home and grow some daffodils.
Well, I tell you, I often think about this. I wonder what their sister thought about that. Them, because they lived in Y'allins, and they bought this 500-acre farm and built the house and gave it to their sister to run.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Different world. We don't totally understand all that, but a different world. But I love studying and love learning about it. Well, Jason, it's 8:37. We have gone, I think, a record-setting program tonight. We have had a full evening. There's some other things we were going to get to, but we'll get to those next week after the Tennessee Division reunion this weekend. And we'll have a recap of all the stuff that happens, and we'll be back with you next week. Again, a great show tonight. Thank you to Commander-in-Chief Donnie Kennedy for joining us in the first part. Of course, Lieutenant Commanders of the Tennessee Division, Rich Garcia and Sean Hill, joining us this evening. We have had a full show, a lot of information, and thank you to our listeners for being on and our viewers tonight watching on our many different platforms. And let's see, I'm going to put up one more. We didn't get all our comments up tonight because we've so been busy tonight. But Derek Glover there, thanking Jason for his work at Elm Springs. You're helping history come alive at that house. Yes, he is.
Well, it's really an honor to do it. It is a beautiful place to be allowed to show up.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up, and we'll be back with you next Tuesday. Again, thank you for watching tonight. Follow us on our many different platforms on social media. We have a Facebook group as well. You can join and interact with other viewers. We also have our regular Tennessee Tuesday Facebook page. We post information there as well. You can learn more about the Tennessee Division, where I serve as Division Commander. Jason serves as Adjutant. You can visit TennesseeSCV.org. We have the YouTube channels, of course, the SCV chat platform and network as well. Many locations to find us. Thank you for being with us, and we'll be back with you next week. Have yourself a great rest of this week and weekend. Take care, and God bless you.
Safe travels for everybody coming to reunion.